The Griffin Legal John Dent Cup Final Series for 2019 continues. Brett McKay with you for Bar TV Sports, where the Hahn Superdry preliminary final has the minor premiers, the Tuggeranong Vikings, facing off with the fourth placed Uni-Norths Owls. The winner to take on Royals in next Saturday's Hahn Superdry Grand Final. And joining me in commentary today, and will be again next weekend, Ryan Murphy. Mate, we had a treat here last weekend. 2 days of absolutely fantastic rugby. How is these two teams going to possibly top that?
I've no idea. It's a similar. They're similar types of matchups to I think what we had last week. Two teams that are, very physical. Expect a lot of tense atmosphere there at times, but certainly, a more clear favourite in this one than either games last week. I think that's the main difference.
It feels like that, and we'll get to why that is in just a second. Last weekend, of course, Royals 21 defeated Tuggeranong 13 in Saturday's qualifying final, with Royals going through to the grand final. Uni-Norths 25 defeated Gungala 19 in Sunday's elimination final. And the double blow out of that for the Owls is that they've lost Willoughby Axelson and Jordan Thompson after both players received blue cards last weekend. Mandatory stand down means that they are both out today, Ryan, and that's a huge blow for them. But they adapted to it well last week, and they adapted to it so well that they're here again. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that the fact that they lost them mid-game early in that game would give Sam Rolfe and Russ Ingram a lot of confidence in that Hamish Dawson and Byron Hollingworth descent came in and did a really good job. So no, look, I think losing both those guys, particularly Jordan Thompson, on a day like this when they need to put pressure and territorial pressure on Vikings is a massive loss, but still those two guys can come in and do a job. So
and it's they did the job last week.
It's not curtains by any chance.
It probably took them a good 15 minutes, and particularly for Dawson to just get familiar in the role. And in the meantime, we saw Iro Simone stand up last week, and he was absolutely fantastic, and he's going to be a linchpin for the Owls again today. Yeah,
I think so, and I think you hit the nail on the head. I think early on it's going to be a lot on Iro to take those reins again and just let what I thought they did really well, those two, Dawson and Hollingworth the same, was just didn't make things happen. When it came to them, they just did their job really well because they had Simone inside. So it has to be the same again. Expect him to step up early here. Yeah, no doubt. The Uni-Norths faithful are here in big numbers. The Guard of Honour is stretched out to, well, nearly to the 10-metre line here from the southern end of Viking Park. It's a wonderful sight, I have to say, and they'll be no doubt making plenty of noise there on the southern hill here at Viking Park. Once again, there's no Wallabies. There's no Alan Alatoa. There's no Tom Banks, and great to see them both named for the Wallabies tonight to take on New Zealand in the first Bledisloe Cup test. No David Pocock, obviously, but likewise, Ryan, no Joe Powell for the Vikings. He stayed in Perth with the Wallaby squad. Yeah, absolutely. I wonder, that would have been a question for Nick Scrivener this week, whether he would have Joe Powell available.
He made the point on Wednesday that it would be nice to know either way what's happening. So
I mean, it's definitely not easy, I think, for a coach in such a big game, but I mean, I don't think any tears will be spilled for.
No, it's a pretty handy replacement they've got in Ryan Lonergan. Let's go through the two teams, mate. For the Vikings, Vuni Popola for feeder, Lachlan Lonergan and Angus Wagner up front. Cooper Takata and Darcy Swain, the locks, and they were both great last week. Tom Watergo, Luke Gerzakowski and Jamie Field complete the back row. Ryan Lonergan comes in at 9. Isaac Thompson, the captain and fly half. And across the three-quarter line, Andrew Robinson, Noel Alessio, Lenny Katau, Maika Rivalvo in for Ernest Suavai, who didn't pull up well after last week, and Dean Wilson again at fullback. Be really interested to see how Lalesio and Ikitau go today, because they were kept pretty quiet last week by Jamie Bodman and Jason Swain.
Yeah, certainly in the second half. I think you saw how, incredibly potent they can be as a combination for that first try, for Lenny Katau's try. But certainly I thought Jason Swain last week did a cracking job containing him. Now, Dennis Waite, far less experienced player than Swain and Bodman. So, look, it's going to be a big task, but having that big body in Simone, big help there in the centre. So, very interesting to see.
No doubt. The Vikings supporters starting to form their Guard of Honour there as well. Uni-North side, an unchanged pack, which is good news. Isaleli Farr, James Lynch and Max Bode up front. Josh Friend and Will Sankey in the second row. Phil Ferreira, Dave Bennett, their captain at open side, and Ben Love, the number 8, completes their back row. Lachlan Crichton, Hamish Dawson in the halves. Then Byron Hollingworth, Descent on the left wing. Iro Simone at 12. Dennis Wade at 13. And Josh Reese will play in the number 14 jersey today. Callum Richardson slotting into 15, and he played fullback so well last week after he went back.
Yeah, he really did. Another one who stepped up. Didn't get to see a lot of him in attack. He's a very good footballer in attack.
We did, though, in the second half, though. He stepped up nicely in the second half and injected himself. It was
definitely a couple of nice touches, particularly I thought his kicking game showed out at times, and similar to what Dean Wilson did for Vikings last week, coming up from 15, finding space in behind. But I'd like to see Richardson back himself a few more times, because I think he's a really good runner with the ball as well. So if he can vary that, it gives Ales another option, missing a couple of guys. So,
and we're going to keep an eye on this Uni-North side as they run out, because as we speak, there was a little bit of a question mark over a couple of players in the warm-up. So we will find out one way or the other whether there's been any late changes there for the Owls. But at this point in time, they are as they've been named. Both sides have named full benches there. Their second grades aren't in action today, so that will certainly help the cause for them, Ryan, with fresh reserves there today.
Yeah, 100%. It makes, I think, Uni-Norths task that bit harder with some of the names on the bench for Vikings. But in a similar way, there's a lot of talent across the board. I think Lachlan Osborne for Uni-Norths Owls could have a big part to play.
And we haven't seen a lot of him this year, have we?
No, he's actually he's been away in Japan for the past couple of weeks. Lachlan Osborne on trial over in Japan.
Yep.
So, and that's why he was unavailable last week. So certainly him coming back gives them another option.
Yeah, right. And the Vikings team preparing to run on, being led out by Isaac Thompson. It's cool. It's cloudy in Canberra, no doubt. Everyone has seen the snow that fell at GWS last night at the GWS game. We'll see how it all falls there today. Certainly plenty of snow on plenty of peaks to Canberra's west, and we'll see whether or not that all takes effect today. Ryan, you might have some late Uni-Norths news for us.
Yeah, just as you were talking about before, Brett, big news. Hamish Dawson unable to take to the field at 10. So Eri Simoni, we talked about him stepping up and into a more playmaking role. Certainly is now. He'll line up at 10 with
Fabian Tango coming in at 12. Yeah, righto. So that's some late developing news for Uni-Norths. Just repeating that, Hamish Dawson's been ruled out in the warm-up. So Eri Simone will head to first receiver and play fly half. And Fabian Tango will come into the side at inside centre. We'll try and get some numbers on those guys as they run out. And they're running out to raucous applause. Listen to this, mate.
Unreal.
Isn't this fantastic?
Absolutely. Can't you tell the difference in what a final game like this means to Uni-Norths? Their first since '92.
It's the first preliminary final for Uni-Norths as a merged entity. Last weekend was their first win as a club, and we could see what it meant to them singing the song in front of the supporters.
Absolutely.
Sam Rolfe told us during the week there was tears down at the ruck afterwards. It's fantastic.
Apparently, Hamish Dawson is going to be available to play.
Right, I can bring him off the bench.
Just an option there, something to keep an eye at, but certainly to start with, as you see, Eri Simoni wearing 12, but he will
play
line out
10,
at fly half.
Okay, all right, so Hamish Dawson will stay in 10. Matt Hogan is our referee in the Hahn Superdry preliminary final. Isaac Thompson has the ball. Vikings will run from the southern end right to left on your screen. It's great to have your company on Bar TV Sports. I can't wait for this, mate. This is going to be a ripper.
Absolutely.
Matthew Hogan gets us underway here. Thompson with the kick. It's a good deep ball. It's going to come down to Dave Bennett just in front of the 22. And he's got under a high tackle, I have to say. And straight away we know this game is going to be a physical one. Lachlan Crichton is there at the back for Uni-Norths, and Eri Simoni gets his first kick of the day downfield. It's straight down the throat of Isaac Thompson in midfield. He's got a shape to kick, but decides to run. Gets past the first tackle of Max Bode, and he's brought down just short of the 10-metre line. Ryan Lonigan is there, and he finds the ball straight away to Cooper Taketa. Big lock who had a great game last weekend, the young player. This is Len Ikitau, and he's busted through a couple of tackles already. He's going to be crucial. Gets an offload, Ikitau. Lachlan Lonigan has this one. He's brought to ground 10 short by Eri Simone now, 15 in from touch. Ryan Lonigan is there, goes out the back to Lalesio. He goes deep to Thompson, who finds Jamie Field in a bit of space. Jamie Field, the young number 8, going to be brought down 2 metres short in the end here. Tuggeranong deep on attack in the opening minute of the Hart Superdry preliminary final. Good pick and drive ball there for the Vunipola for Fafita, and he scored the first try of the preliminary final.
Ominous start from Vikings. From the opening kickoff, Brett, they just look so hungry for action out there. Big shot off the kickoff. As soon as the ball went deep, Thompson didn't even look to kick. Counter-attack straight away. Lenny Katau got his hands on the ball, bit of footwork, got them going forward, got an offload to Lachlan Lonergan, and from there, just typical Vikings, bashing the line, excellent football, dragged it out right, and the finish from Vunipola for Fafita in the end. Clinical.
Speed of the attack.
Absolutely.
Is the noticeable thing, isn't it?
Urgency. Absolutely. From the opening kickoff, Ryan Lonergan chasing that kick right up in Eri Simone's face, not giving him an inch of space. Early signs that Vikings just lifting that urgency. Great to see from them coming out strong.
Lachlan Lonergan found himself in a little bit of space, and I thought he was going to be isolated for a minute, but they were well set.
Well, he's got good footwork, Nos, so he can change his point of attack there, allow support to come his way. So really well done from the young hooker.
Ryan Lonergan is going to take the first shot at goal for Tuggeranong today. Of course, Noel Alessio kicked last weekend from the tee, but Ryan Lonergan has been kicking very, very well.
Just seeing Lenny Katau as we see Ryan Lonergan about to kick the conversion. Lenny Katau receiving a bit of treatment, so just something to keep an eye on, Brett.
Yeah, we will keep an eye on that, definitely. Ryan Lonergan with the conversion from just outside the 22. He's hit it well. He's kept it low. Flags have stayed down, though. Score remains 5-0 in the Hart Superdry preliminary final. Talk us through what's happening there with Lenny Katau, mate.
Yeah, just a little bit of strapping below the knee. Say, he came up a little bit limp after that early carry where he typically beat 2 or 3 defenders, got the offload away. So, again, this final series has been about losing key players in the first 5 minutes.
It's been a battle of attrition, this final series already.
Bit of a graveyard in the first 5 minutes, so definitely something to keep an eye on, such a key player, both in attack and defence. Lenny Katau.
Simone gets us underway again for Uni-Norths. It's a deeper kick, well into the Tuggeranong 22, taken well there by Jamie Field inside the 5-metre tram tracks. He's brought down about 20 out from his own line. Grzikowski is there, ready on the one-off, taken well and heavily there by Phil Ferreira, who was under a bit of a doubt in the warm-up, but he seems to have got through all right. Lonergan's kick will find touch there on the eastern side of Viking Park.
Typical Phil Ferreira shot on Luke Grzikowski, but again, Vikings with a good exit, strong breeze over that side of the field, so definitely a difficult exit in this half for Vikings.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the breeze. It's very similar to what we had last Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here, blowing from left to right from the northern end here of Viking Park. Taken well at the top there by Will Sankey. Crichton pulls it away. Simone finds Dave Bennett back on the inside line. He's brought down nicely by Ryan Lonergan, about 30 out from the Tuggeranong line. This is Phil Ferreira with a good crash ball. We'll be interested to see how he gets through this game today. Simone at the back to Richardson, who was really important from fullback last week for the Owls, and he's got a good first run here. This is Hollingworth Descent. He's lost that ball. A little bit of a high shot there, and Max Rivalval's just stayed down after making that tackle.
I don't know if he's
peeled away. He's holding his left ankle.
Yeah, I wonder did he just... Did the studs holding the turf studs a little bit there? Studs
maybe on the back of the Achilles. He's running away though now. Is Max Rivalval? We'll keep an eye on him certainly.
Painful one if he's got a stud on the Achilles there.
On a day like today, mate.
Can you imagine?
We haven't even mentioned the weather yet, have we?
We're not going to talk about it until it's a factor. We're going to say it's a beautiful day here.
Until it starts snowing, we're not going to talk about the weather. 5 minutes played of the Hart Superdry preliminary final. Tuggeranong 5 leading Uni-Norths 0. We've got our first scrum of the day. 5 metres in from touch. It's about 30 out from the Tuggeranong line. Ryan Lonergan to feed. It's a good Vikings scrum, but Matt Hogan says, hang on, we might just have that one again. 2 front rows gone down simultaneously.
Turf cutting up there a little bit. You hear body height being said by both sides there. I'm expecting a little bit more of a closer contest than Vikings had last week against Royals. 2 really quality props in there for Uni-Norths Owls. Maybe not household names by any stretch, but Max Bode and Israel Far, 2 of the best in the competition.
Absolutely. Plenty of experience. Max Bode has had time in the Canberra Vikings NRC squad, as has Angus Wagner and Vuni Fafita for Tuggeranong. Ryan Lonigan feeds again for Tuggeranong. Good solid scrum. Again, front rows have gone down. Ball's there for Ryan Lonigan. Thompson has it now. Still Alessio. They've got Dean Wilson in out the back, and he's in a little bit of space. Wilson gets an offload away to Robinson on the far side, who's made a good run inside the Uni-Norths territory. Brought down just short of the 10-metre line. Thompson brings this attack wide through Tom Wadigo, who was great last week and will be a focal point of their attack, no doubt. Thompson with a little bit of space in behind the line. Josh Reese has to go back. Callum Richardson has this clearing kick. It's low. It's off the instep. It finds touch just outside the 22. And we're just keeping an eye on Lenikitau again, Ryan.
He's struggling,
He doesn't look good at all, does he?
Off the back of that scrum play, you could just... It's just not right. Not quite right. He's tough as nails, Lenikitau, but if it's that knee, it's just going to get increasingly worse.
Yeah, and we've got movement on the Tuggeranong bench here. Lenikitau is coming from the field by the looks of this, and this is Turi Hides in 23 coming on for him. So drama for Tuggeranong straight away. Lenikitau, one of the quality young players in ACT rugby, and he doesn't look in a good way. Lenikitau, that little left knee injury that plagued him early on has seen him succumb. He's lasted 7 minutes of the Hahn Superdry preliminary final. So Turi Hides in 23. And that's him with the ball here now. Turi Hides, a good first run. Bumps off the tackle of James Lynch. He's brought down inside the 22 in the end. Lachlan Lonigan now on the rampage. There puts them on attack here. This is Jamie Field, who jigged left and then right, but he's been held up. Hit well there by the Uni-Norths defenders, trying to slow this block play down. Fafita gets through the tackle of Fabian Tungel. Grzikowski shapes left, goes himself. It's pushed back a metre, but a good leg drive gets that metre back. Darcy Swain gets a nice little ball to Alessio in a little bit of space. He's brought down 10 short. Quick ball here now for Ryan Lonigan. Goes wide to Wadigo, who's brought down similarly 7 or 8 metres out. Come out the back to Alessio. Grzikowski has this. He's got Wilson on his outside and Ravalval as well. Pick and drive here for Tuggeranong through Fafita. Ryan Lonigan looking for the ball here now. Thompson, what can he do? Looking for an offload. He can't get one away. He's brought down 4 short in front of the post. Ryan Lonigan goes short to Wadigo, but it's Max Ravalval at the back, and he's over for the second try.
Clinical again from Vikings as soon as they got in position. Just the difference in their attack this week, Brett. Slow build up, hammering the ball. Slow to form, then hammering the ball. Not over eager to pass, to give little offloads when they're not on. Just clinical execution. Their urgency to get around the corner, particularly Grzikowski there, just changed the point of attack. And then the ball from Ryan Lonigan out the back fooled us up here.
Yeah, it did. It was same thing again. As soon as they get into the 22, they put the foot down. They find that overdrive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can just tell everyone seems to lift, and that's, again, just a really good score from them.
Which means that Nick Scrivener has got the reaction he was looking for after last week.
Well, I'm sure, yeah, absolutely. And I think most people would have expected a hot start from Vikings. I think what will be troubling for Els is that they reacted well off the first try, but because of Vikings' excellent play, they found themselves back underneath their sticks. So, yeah, they've heard Sam Rolfe say before, got to slow the ball down, couldn't agree more. Got to get Dave Bennett maybe slightly positioned more outside of the forward channels. Ryan
Lonigan's conversion is good. Score goes to 12 points to 0. And we haven't seen a lot of Ben Love or Phil Ferreira in this game. But, Dave Bennett's going to be there and in the dirty stuff. But as soon as Ben Love and Ferreira can get into this,
I think Vikings are doing a great job keeping them out of the game by playing with pace and with width early.
Yeah.
If those big bodies have to form and they're always backpedaling, it's very, very hard for them to square up and put on the big shots that we know they can. So really smart play, a very good opening.
Swain takes it off his 22 and off the restart in the Hahn Superdry preliminary final. Brought down 25 out from his own line, 15 in from touch. Good run there from Takata. The 2 second rowers working well in tandem already. Ryan Lonigan gets the ball back to Thompson with a clearing kick. It's downfield. Callum Richardson's back there for Uni-Norths in the 15 jersey today. It's a good ball infield for Iro Simone. Puts a little kick over the top. Finds a little bit of space, but Tuggeranong have got coverage at the back there through Thompson and Wilson. Thompson shapes the kick, ships to his right twice there, gets past the first tackle, brought down just short of the 10-metre line. Lalesio into first receiver this time. He steps right into a hard, heavy tackle there from a couple of Uni-Norths forwards, and they win the turnover. And this is what we're talking about. Ben Love, Dave Bennett getting into it.
100%. That's when you play into their hands. No, Lalesio moving right there, numbers up for Els. Bennett, eyes lit up, put in a big shot, slight knock on. So yeah, good reward for Els, staying patient there in defence, not overcommitting at the breakdown. Good sign for them that they can start to contain Vikings, but Isaac Thompson counter-attacking there again. I think that's what's lifted this Vikings side. More urgency in attack.
It's eerily similar to the start of Sunday's elimination final. Uni-Norths didn't have a lot of ball in the opposition half to start with. The first opportunity they had to attack through their breakdown, they win the turnover, and that was what got them going.
Difference being they're down 12 points, unfortunately.
That's it. Crichton feeds. 35 out, 20 in from touch. Lights are on here at Viking Park already. Sunshine, which I'm happy to see at the moment. Shadows on the field. This is Phil Ferreira, who bumps off the tackle of Gerzikowski. Crichton keeps going this short side through Dennis Waite. Richardson's there with him, so is Ben Love. Gets another couple of metres after contact. Crichton goes back to the open side. Short ball there to Sankey's a good one.
Beautiful.
Quick ball now for Crichton. They're on attack here. This is Bode. Goes wide to Simone. Good ball in there to Fabian Tungo in the 22 jersey. On for Hamish Dawson from the start of this game. Crichton comes back to the grandstand side. Ferreira under a bit of a cloud from the warm-up, but he's getting into this game here now. They keep coming to the grandstand side. This is Dennis Waite. Steps off his right. Gets past Darcy Swain. Looking for quick ball again. Here is Crichton. He finds Ben Love here. He's got Hollingworth Desson on his outside. Crichton goes back to the open side. It's Josh Friend again. Friend and Sankey were so good last week. This is Bode. At the Uni-Norths Owls have found a gear. Max Bode goes again. They're only 10 short here now, Uni-Norths. It's a good, strong carry. Tuggeranong tried to rip this ball out. They have to keep going. Friend has it. Has been ripped out, though, now by Watago. The Vikings have this. This is Lachlan Lonigan now, and he's in a little bit of space. He's knocked over in the tackle, though. Great defensive work from Tuggeranong to rip that ball out. Thompson's back there for the clearing kick. And he gets it downfield. Will it find touch? No, it won't. Taken really well there by Josh Reese. Above his head, Australian rules style. Turi Hides brings him down. He's isolated. There's penalty advantage, though. What will the Owls do? Tungo comes to Bennett on the open side. He loses the ball, Max Bode, and we'll go back to that penalty.
Yeah, Turi Hides just caught out. I wouldn't say it's hard done by probably a penalty.
It's one of those just slightly lazy arms that gets caught out by a player stepping, isn't it?
We barely had a chance to talk about him. Everything's been all go since that Ikitau substitution happened, but Robinson obviously has switched from that right wing into 13. Turi Hides taking up position on the right wing. Very well-rated Colt. Turi Hides, strong ball carrier, which we've already seen, so quality replacement there.
And I note that Andrew Robinson's actually shipped the headgear as well.
Yeah, he has done.
So there you go. Andrew Robinson into outside centre. Taken great work at the back of that line out there from Josh Friend, and they drop down into their line-out drive here, Uni-Norths. Tuggeranong defending it pretty well, but the Owls, they've got it going forward. James Lynch controlling it at the back nicely. They're edging forward, metre at a time. It peels off. It's still going here. Crichton pulls it out. This is now Tungo in midfield. Busts through the tackle there of Lalesio. Like they're on the run here. Ferreira inside ball to Max Bode. Runs at Andrew Robinson. 20 in from touch, about 20 out. Ben Love with a good carry. And he's going to be crucial in the ball carrying department again today. You just know Friend has been prominent already for the Owls. Crichton goes open side again to Simone. This is Fabian Tungo. Dennis Waite. Can he get an offload away? Ball's loose. Tuggeranong might have this. Turnover here for the Vikings.
Just one too many there from Dennis Wade. Had to just hold on to that ball.
Yeah, probably guilty of overplaying there a little bit, the Owls. And now Tuggeranong will kick out of their own 22 from Ryan Lonigan at the back of that ruck. He'll find touch 10 short of halfway, and I'm going to put it to you, the Owls won't mind this.
No, I mean, the maul certainly wasn't too...
They had to work hard for it.
They had to work hard for it. But you see, when they're playing to their strengths, they've got extra big bodies in that centre channel when they play to that strength.
Sankey has this one now from number 4 in the line-out. Simone, good inside ball back to Waite, who's hit hard there by Ryan Lonigan and Tom Wattego. He's brought down about 38 out from the Tuggeranong line in midfield. Phil Ferreira hasn't quite been his blockbusting self from last week, but he's getting into this game now. Simone gets a little bit of a grubber kick for Callum Richardson, but Richardson didn't know about it. Tuggeranong have this now through Dean Wilson, who gets a kick downfield into space. Simone is going to be there to clean this up, but Wilson's chasing it nicely. What's Simone going to do? He's dummied to no one. He's put a kick over the top here. Robinson's taken it beautifully, and now Tuggeranong are going to be on attack. Wilson picks and drives, finds a metre or two, and they set themselves up here, the Vikings. Ryan Lonigan goes at the back to Lalesio, who goes wide to Thompson, who goes for a bit of a run in midfield, gets around Max Bode. He's about 25 in from touch, eastern side of Viking Park. Darcy Swain, taken there by Love, gets a pass away to Wagner, who's in a bit of space here, the tight head. Ryan Lonigan's digging again to Cater. Brought down just short of the 22. 17 minutes of the Hahn Superdry preliminary final played as Jamie Field gets under the tackle of Ben Love, and he's put Tuggeranong straight back into good attacking position here. Ball's there for Ryan Lonigan. This is for Feeder. Ball at the back to Lalesio.
Here we go.
Lost it.
Here we go.
Max Bowden a bit of space. He just barrels over the top of Dean Wilson. And Fabian Tungo is there for the clean out. Ferreira goes out the back to Callum Richardson, and this could be dangerous here. This is really dangerous for Byron Hollingworth. Desson gets a great ball back inside for Callum Richardson to score behind the post for Uni-Norths.
What a try! What a try from the Owls. They were queuing up off the turnover from Max Bode. The ball went out the back when it really should have gone forward, but Callum Richardson, geez, he did well. Got the ball to Byron Hollingworth to send, and he did brilliantly, beating Max Ravuvu on this right wing. The inside ball to Richardson. Uni-Norths crowd goes absolutely wild, and we said it before, Brett. Said he's got to do more in attack when he comes from 15. Back himself, and he backed himself brilliantly. What a score.
You're absolutely spot on about that pass that Phil Ferreira threw a ball to the back.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone
had to
knew
go
what was
forward.
going on. Richardson, just great piece of work, and Byron Hollingworth Descent made that opportunity.
He's so quick.
Yeah,
he's so
really
quick. I just
over
wonder.
a short period of time.
I just wonder is Max Ravuvu still feeling some ill effects from that rake he got, because normally wouldn't get beaten for pace by even someone of Hollingworth's descent.
He's got a bit of speed about him, to be fair. Yeah.
Well, just in the context of that game, you could tell Vikings were winding up once again, and 17-19-0 would have been a long way back.
This is a crucial conversion here for Simone. It's pretty well in front of the right-hand upright as he looks at it. He's hit it really well. He's hit it really well, in fact. Straight between the posts. Flags are up. 12-7 the score. And that's an important hit back for the Owls, Ryan.
Absolutely. I think, like we were saying before, the way Vikings were looking, just with that carry from Wagner and Isaac Thompson just pulling strings in midfield, another score just seemed like it was on its way. So for in the context of this game, Brett, it's a 12-point, it's a 14-point swing.
Yeah, no, it really is. Really is.
Callum Richardson following his pass on the inside as well. Just beautiful attack from the fullback.
Max Bode just taking on Dean Wilson with ball in hand. Great to see big men in space. Uni-Norths have it here again.
Oh, good pressure.
Simone, he's clearing kick. Oh, I thought for sure he was eyeing us off, but he had to pull that kick back a bit just with the pressure of the Tuggeranong defence.
Absolutely. Ravuvu did brilliantly rushing up there.
So Lachlan Lonigan now with a line-out throw for Tuggeranong, only 30 out from the Uni-Norths line. Can they hit back the Vikings? Ryan Lonigan has off the top of the line-out. They go wide through Robinson. He's got Dean Wilson on his outside. He's already in this game more with the fullback. Turi Hyde's tackled well over on the far side there by Fabian Tungor. Ryan Lonigan comes back open side to Thompson, finds Wagner in front of the right-hand upright. He's about 18 metres out now. This is Taketa, hit heavily there by Dave Bennett. And the Uni-Norths captain trying to lead from the front here. Thompson pulls Ravalvo back on the inside. He's certainly moving a lot freer now than he was only a few minutes ago. The right winger for the Vikings. Swain with Fafita and Jamie Field behind him. It's quick ball again for Ryan Lonigan. Lalesio goes himself. Does get an offload away to Cooper Takata. He's brought down 6 short. And it's a penalty to Uni-Norths. In from the side against Angus Wagner, I think it is.
Yeah, a let off there for ours. Again, Vikings just winding up in attack. On that occasion, Darcy Swain getting swallowed by about 4 or 5 L's defenders. They had numbers up to that right side, but good cover defence from L's. So again, unlike the first 10 minutes where Vikings were just rolling with quick ball, L's doing a better job of slowing them down in attack, particularly in the red zone.
It's a great kick for touch from Irai Simone in the end. He's found touch about 8 short of halfway, but from 5 metres off his own line.
The response again from L's, Brett. So going down 2 tries, the response has been brilliant.
Lynch throws. Sankey knocks down off the top. Crichton cleans up. Simone has it, puts it straight up in midfield. Dean Wilson is there, though, for Tuggeranong.
Wow.
Beats Josh Reese, blind. And he's brought down beautifully by Max Bode in the end. Bennett is there, can't get the turnover. Thompson, he comes to the line now. Taken well there by Phil Ferreira. He's getting more heavily involved in defence now. The blindside flanker for Uni-Norths. Really getting into this breakdown contest now, the Owls. This is Swain. They sort of run into his own forward support there. Step off his right, take the ball into contact. Ryan London goes open side to Revalval. Steps off his left, goes back to pretty much where that ball came from, and he's hit hard over the top by Issa Lilifard. Thompson has this ball back in the pocket. He's been chased nicely by Bennett. Forces the kick onto Thompson's left foot. Where's Richardson going to go? Trying to look for an offload. Gets past the tackle of Wattigo.
Great extra roll.
5 metres into Tuggeranong territory. Lynch now, the Uni-Norths hooker. We've got another high tackle advantage here.
Well done, Richard.
And again, just player going down, tackle slipping up.
Absolutely.
And Matt Hogan is all over that.
Again, just poor timing there from Vikings defence, but you're just seeing the difference. When everything slows down, that's when Owls really come into the game.
Yep.
They're able to get that pressure on the kickers, forcing Thompson into options he probably doesn't want to, and then the penalties come eventually.
Yeah. A lot of teams...
Great kick.
That's a fantastic kick. 10 out with an attacking line-out throw. A lot of teams are really good at managing the game, but there aren't too many better at managing and manipulating the speed of a game like the Owls.
Absolutely, no, and I think they got caught with that hot start, but they've adjusted since.
They have. Lynch throws into a 7-man line out, taken well by Friend at the back. Bennett peels Lynch around the open side, gets a good ball there to Hollingworth Descent. He's been held up in contact. They need to get this ball to ground somehow.
Need to get over the line.
Surely the call is maul, or is the ball there?
No, this will be a turnover.
This will be a turnover to Tuggeranong. Great defence in midfield there by Thompson. And I think it was one of the back rowers had peeled off.
Right at the bottom there, Tommy
Wattigo, yeah.
Absolutely whacked Hollingworth Descent. I thought the play from the Owls was really nice. Nice invention off the line-out, but Hollingworth Descent just needed to drop his body height against the bigger body there in Wattigo.
He probably felt like he won the initial contact and kept driving through it, but that just allowed Tuggeranong just to hold him up.
We see changes coming here for Owls. I just wonder, is that Phil Ferreira?
So this is Lachlan Osborne in number 19. We'll keep an eye on that. You could well be right. Phil Ferreira, just as I made the point that he's getting into this game, but he's obviously not right.
He's probably had to put 80 minutes of energy to just get this shift he's put in this first half, putting his body on the line for the Owls.
Big scrum here for Uni-Norths. Will they fancy a crack at this Vikings pack in front of their own post, 5 metres out?
Vikings have looked to play out of their own zone. I can't see them playing too much football this time.
Lonergan feeds, ball is at the back for him, comes open side to Robinson. Dean Wilson, what's he going to do? He's going to bust through a tackle, that's what he's going to do. Dean Wilson brought down just outside the 22 now. Great front foot ball all of a sudden here for the Vikings. Bennett stops Darcy Swain in his tracks. Thompson goes wide to Wagner, had to pull a pass down. Ball's loose at the back. Thompson just gets this ball into his boot. He'll find touch around halfway. Great defence.
Well, they had
the Uni-Norths defenders.
Had a good crack off the scrum.
Right, and here is Lachlan Osborne in 19 coming on for Phil Ferreira.
Yeah, he's put
everything in.
He's put absolutely everything into that 25 minutes, Phil Ferreira. Incredible, given the fact that he's clearly not right, but not a bad replacement of Lachlan Osborne coming onto the pitch.
Very, very, very handy young player, Lachlan Osborne. Spent time with the Junior Wallabies, of course, this year.
Absolutely, was very close to making that squad, I believe.
Yeah. Simone, good inside border. Bennett, hasn't he stepped up in the last 10 minutes? The Uni-Norths captain. Bode had that important carry that led to the first try for Uni-Norths only a few minutes ago. Osborne with his first carry of the preliminary final. Lynch for the kick.
Lovely kick too.
Off a bit of space. Josh Reese chasing down the far side. A great kick in the end from the hooker.
Absolutely. Love to see him backing his skill set there, Lynch. Obviously, not the biggest hooker in the game, but just showing his skill set there.
Yeah.
Got to play to his strengths. Love to see that. And it was the right option, honestly, Brett.
It was a great work.
There wasn't much space to his left-hand side. Plenty in behind.
Lonergan goes quickly. It's taken at the top by Jamie Field. Big carry there.
Bennett again.
Midfield. Yeah, Dave Bennett. He's just laying in tackles all of a sudden. Ryan Lonergan kicks from the back of the ruck. Finds touch. It won't be anywhere near halfway. It's just outside the 22, in fact.
He's kicked well, Lonergan, from the base.
Yeah, he's provided a good option when Thompson hasn't quite been in the right spot.
Absolutely. There's seems to be anyway a clear directive out there to play from their own zone, but Lonergan taking matters into his own hands.
They go short. Uni-Norths. Crichton has this. Simone in midfield. Pulls Fabian Tuggeranong again on his inside shoulder. Quick ball again for Crichton. This is Osborne. Bust through a tackle. Bust through two tackles. Osborne gets it offload away now to Will Sankey. Brought down 20 short. Simone putting the ball through. Simone is through. Simone will score. And the scores are level in the Hard Super Dry preliminary final.
But he's just too good. When a player of that quality steps onto this type of pitch, he's always going to have his moments. But how well did he take his chance, Brett? There was a little half gap. Just showed it to the right, put a big fend on. What a try.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Lachlan Osborne, very good first involvement from him.
Great carry. And Simone steps up. He's been underplaying his hand really well today, Simone.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first time he backs himself with ball in hand and he brings up maximum points.
It's such an important score because, again, that wind is going to be such a factor in this second half.
Yeah.
And for Els to get back square here and now with a chance to lead. Again, the response, we talked about it.
We did.
Just the unity and the heart out there on that Els side is incredible.
And we can't understate what this is going to do for their confidence,
Absolutely.
for their mindset. You know, we can take these blokes on, they'll be thinking. So Simone's conversion from a very similar spot to his first conversion only 10 minutes ago. This is for the lead in the preliminary final. Simone's ball is straight through the middle. Flags are up. And Uni-Norths have the lead with 11 minutes till half-time in the Hard Super Dry preliminary final.
Expect a big response from Vikings now. They're taking a big shot from Els in the last 10 to 15. This is where their players start to step up. Haven't seen a lot of Jamie Field since he was one of the really, really strong players for Vikings in the opening couple of minutes. Darcy Swain. Expect these guys to try and get their hands on the ball, but Els doing all the work in the last 15.
Goes deep. Ball comes down to Crichton on the 22. And this is Lachlan Osborne, who has been a wonderful impact since he came onto the field for Phil Ferreira just a moment ago. Lynch finds Ben Love, but he's lost the ball before contact. Tuggeranong now have an opportunity with 10 to play before half-time. Good strong carry there in midfield from Fafita. Ryan Lonergan has to dig this ball out. Finds his brother, who finds another bust up through the middle. He's down about 20 out now. Make it 19 out. What to go. One of the leading try scorers in the John Dent Cup this year. Ryan Lonergan goes short side to Wagner. Had a great game last weekend, the tight head prop. This is his propping partner for Fafita.
Jeez, he's been good in this game.
He has, 10 short. They go wide through Lalesio, puts a kick in, out wide. Taken well over the top. No, Turi Hides loses it. And we're going to come back to a penalty. I didn't see the advantage call there, I have to admit.
think it might have just been for offside. Yeah, offside in midfield there. Just creeping up.
Well spotted.
It's an interesting call now. I think, look, it's a 3 puts you back in the lead, but yeah, you see now Alessio kind of thought
the corner there.
You could just feel the energy from the Vikings players there. Looking
Alessio's kick for touch.
Make another big mark in this first half.
Off one step, isn't maybe quite where he wanted it, but they'll throw in from 7 out. Just under 10 minutes to play in this first half. The Hahn Superdry preliminary final. Uni-Norths 14 leading Tuggeranong 12.
This is where the value of a Darcy Swain comes into play.
Yeah. Taken well at the top by Takata. Straight down to their line-out drive here. The Vikings, they peel off through what to go. Pick and drive here now for Tuggeranong. Must be awfully close here, Tuggeranong.
Jeez, he looks over.
Very close, Tuggeranong. Matt Hogan in a good spot, though. They pick and drive again. Ball shot, ball's on the line. I'm sure it's a try. Great work from the Tuggeranong forwards.
Absolutely, keeping it tight, sticking to what they know. We'll see who comes up with the ball.
It might be that man, Tom Wattigo again, is it? Or is it Vinny Fafita?
There's a bit of slaps all around. We'll have to wait and see, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was Tom Wattigo. Certainly got an eye for the line, but either way, it's an all-pack effort from Vikings, and that's a really good score and an important score from them.
I've got a sneaking suspicion it's Vinny Fafita has got over, but it's an important hit back before half-time either way.
Absolutely. They were queuing up out right, but again, really smart from Vikings, just sensing they had that pressure building in and around the tight stuff, not overplaying their hand, which maybe they could have been, guilty of at times last week. Really smart. And a big score for their confidence, because they've taken, as you said, a big punch from ours.
Definitely had, no doubt about it. Ryan Lonigan, his conversion is just across the face.
Gee.
Lonigan misses with another conversion. Score remains 17 points to 14.
That's the difference in 3 and 5 for ours. That's a big miss from Lonigan. He just doesn't miss from those type of
for a right footer too. Yeah,
does not miss from that kind of distance normally.
Simone gets us underway again. Sun out and sun ablaze here at Viking Park. It's great to see, considering what the weather forecast was going to give us today. Tuggeranong looking for another score here before half-time. Uni-Norths having to adjust in defence. They have got penalty advantage here now, Tuggeranong. They play through Lalessi on the open side. Robinson finds Revalvo on the wing. Bumps off the tackle of Hollingworth Desson originally, but he's brought down just inside Uni-North's line. Alessio goes to the line, getting more involved from first receiver. Runs straight over the top of Lachlan Crichton. Penalty advantage again for Tuggeranong, not rolling away the Uni-Norths defenders. Dennis Waite caught at the bottom of that one. Lalesio points to the corner again, and the speed, Ryan, this Tuggeranong's intensity has lifted.
Absolutely. You can tell when everything just seems to lift how hard they are to play, because they're getting quality ball as well. Their breakdown work really, really good as well. And now I think, mate, if ours can just try to hold on, it's massive for them, but Vikings can put in a real marker for the second half if they can get another score here.
Uni-Norths will be wanting to say 3 points, no more than 3 points at the break. Lachlan Lonigan throwing into a 6-man line out. Wattigo in the offset for the Vikings. Taken well there by Jamie Field in the middle of that line out again.
Well spoiled from ours.
Can't get their line out drive going. Tuggeranong. Josh Friend's done well to get that ball. Jamie Friend is going to be offside. It's accidental offside. Knock on is the ruling. Knock on in the original contact.
Must be, because Jamie Field just in an offside position there. The refereeing of that rule has slightly altered in the past couple of years.
So the ruling there would be around the strip from Josh Friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But Josh Friend didn't give up on the play after the sack. Didn't just say work's done and spread out. Kept targeting the ball.
Just wanted it more, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good response from Uni-Norths. 5 minutes 20 on the clock here at Viking Park in the Hahn Superdry preliminary final.
Noel Alessio.
Really starting to direct himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, did exactly the same thing through the final series last year. He's really starting to take control of this Tuggeranong attack.
And he seems to be the one that's upping that tempo and attack when he gets his hands on the ball.
Yep, he is. He is. I'll take this short moment to thank our 2019 competition partners. First and foremost, Griffin Legal, the John Dent Cup naming rights sponsors. Hahn Superdrive bought us the match of the round every week this year, and we'll be back for the Hahn Superdrive Grand Final next weekend as well. Can't wait for that. We thank as well Rourke Projects, True Fit and Hill, PTP, McDonald's ACT, O'Neill's and Poplars. You're watching the Hahn Superdry Griffin Legal John Dent Cup preliminary final on Brumbies Rugby's live streaming partner Bar TV Sports. Brett McKay and Ryan Murphy with you at Viking Park in Canberra. We've got 4 minutes on the clock.
Owls have to get the other end of this pitch, Brett.
Yeah, they really do. It's a good scrum from Tuggeranong, but the Owls get it out. Simone kicks this ball downfield. Wilson comes forward initially. The ball's over his head. He has touched it, got back, and he's done well to clean up. Gets his kick downfield. Has to put his teammates on side. And Matt Hogan has ruled, and I absolutely agree with him, that Wilson has taken that ball back in. He's kicked it out, and now Uni-Norths have an attacking line out inside the Tuggeranong 22.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wondered, did Wilson think that he mightn't have spotted it, and that's why he went for the touchline? But as it is, in their defensive zone, thinking we're just hanging on now. One play, they're thinking, can we go into the second half with a slim lead? The fine margins of finals rugby, Brett.
Funny old game, rugby. It's a funny old game. So James Lynch will throw in to a six-man line out. Dave Bennett there in the offset for the Uni-Norths Owls. Darcy Swain has got through on that line out awfully quickly for Uni-Norths. They can't get their line out drive going. Ben Love goes with the pick and drive. I've got 3 minutes till half-time here, Uni-Norths. How much patience have they got? Tuggeranong defence starting to fan out. They're not playing at this breakdown ball, though. Crichton just organised his forward runners. This is Friend, who's been really good today.
Brilliant from Crichton, waiting for his support.
It's a good carry as well from James Lynch. So is that from Ben Love. They're doing it metre at a time here now. Crichton with these hands on the ball. He finds Sankey, who gets another metre or two past contact. It's a patient build-up. Osborne has a go here now.
I'd be keeping this tight if I was Owls.
Yeah, Ben Love takes it. Tuggeranong have to adjust. They go quickly to the open side. Simone shapes to the outside. Tungo was with him. He didn't use him. Crichton goes short side again through Osborne.
Just needed someone to straighten the line there, Simone.
Bennett has this now. He's brought down about 7 short. Taken over the top. Crichton pulls this out for Fabian Tungo. Good carry again. 6 short. 20 in from touch, left-hand side of the upright. Simone at first receiver. Ball over the top to Richardson, who's hit heavily by Rivavo. Gets the ball away to Hollingworth Descent. Gets them back on attack. Crichton pulls it out. They've lost 10 metres in all this. This is Lynch, taken by his opposite number, Lachlan Lonigan. Uni-Norths mounting the phases, but losing territory. Isaleli Farr loses some ground. Wagner's in on that ball for Tuggeranong, but Crichton has it now for Uni-Norths. Simone gets a kick in. Oh, well taken there by Turi Hides on the bounce, and he's in a bit of space now, Turi Hides. Bumping off tackles left, right and centre, and he's brought down in centre field just short of halfway. Ryan Lording comes open side to Thompson, into attacking territory now for Feeder, finds Revalval, finds Robinson, finds Revalval back on the inside, gets an inside ball to Lonigan. Ryan Lonigan this is. Tuggeranong might have something to say about half-time yet. The Feeder goes to ground. Revalval pulls the ball out, finds Lalesio. This is Gerzakowski in midfield. And they're only 10 out all of a sudden with penalty advantage, Tuggeranong. Ryan Lonigan goes wide. Lalesio steps off his right. Comes back another time. Lalesio's only 2 metres short. Ryan Lonigan steps, dummies, scores.
Absolutely devastating on the counter-attack, Tuggeranong. The more patient, the more clinical side. Norths, they had their chance. Went wide at the wrong time. Coughed off the ball, and the counter-attack from Vikings, just brilliant. Vunipola Fafita combining with his wingers And then Lonigan just loved the patience from the Vikings halfback on a couple of occasions there, just held off, just sniping, getting players left and right, and when the space opened up, he finished brilliantly. Classy from Ryan Lonigan.
Took advantage of the attention that was being paid to
Absolutely.
Alessio.
Absolutely, and that's the combination of those two.
Yeah.
In their communication as well.
Yeah.
Just quietly, Ryan Lonigan making his mark on this game.
Yeah,
it's funny,
he's having an impact, isn't he?
No Joe Powell on the field, but this is, for much of this season, this has been Ryan Lonigan's team, and you're just seeing the impact he can have in the red and white.
And so Lonigan to convert, to put Tuggeranong out by 10 at half-time, when Uni-Norths thought only 60 seconds to go, they might be able to take a narrow lead into the break.
They'll be kicking themselves, Norths, because they went away from what was working. Slow really build-up when they went wide. Wrong
Lonigan's
time.
conversion is about 18 in from touch. Right-hand side of the uprights. Flags are up. Half-time is the call from Matt Hogan, and Tuggeranong 24 leading Uni-Norths 14 at half-time in the Hahn Superdry preliminary final. It's had all the drama, all the twists, all the turns that we were expecting, Ryan. It's been a ripping game so far.
It really has, and I just feel like, will that be the story of the game?
Yep.
Because Uni-North seemed to have found what they needed to do. When they kept it tight, you just saw Crichton had his chances to go wide. Instead, kept it tight and let them build slowly. Gave it to the big forwards, using their size to their advantage, playing their game, not Vikings' game. But when they went wide, I wonder, just did Simone feel like, I didn't pass last time, so I've got to pass this time. It was just wrong timing. And then when Rivera made that hit, it switched.
It was probably perfect opportunity for Simone to go himself again to play that same ball. Yeah.
Look, these are the championship moments, Brett, and you're looking at a side in Vikings that, again, have shown glimpses of their best.
Yeah.
But when they're at their best, they're nearly unplayable.
Yeah, and they have been at their best. They've certainly had their moments today. Uni-Norths have had their moments. They're right in this game if they can keep pace. But you'll think already they're going to need to be the first to score after the break.
Well, it's almost like had they only been 3 points behind, and all they'd done was survive, having been under the cosh there, it would have been really positive going in behind and saying, look, we're behind. But the fact that they had a chance to go ahead and they were slowly building towards that score to then shift 7 is just heartbreaking. Yeah. So I just wonder, it's going to be a real test of their resolve now into this second half.
No, it absolutely is.
But on balance, being 10 behind is not a bad result, given the fact that they've taken some of the best shots from Vikings and they're still in the game.
Yeah, that's a fair point. 24 points to 14. Tuggeranong leading at halftime in the Hahn Superdry preliminary final. We're in for a ripping day next week. Grand final day next Saturday down here at Viking Park. We already know 5 of the 6 games have been decided for next week. We're going to attempt to run through these now. I'm going to tempt your memory here now. So we'll start.
This is my bread and butter.
Good. Well, you can just, here you go.
I'm not even looking. Not even.
All right. From the bottom. First division, second grade. Next weekend at 9:35.
Queanbeyan versus Royal.
No, it's Tuggeranong and West were playing today.
Oh, is that third grade?
Yeah.
Are you talking about who's playing in the final next week?
For the grand final next week?
Well,
Queanbeyan, we're going to play the winner of Tuggeranong and West. It's West.
Right. Yeah. No, West got up. Yeah. West got up in the over after the hooter, I believe. It was a real tight one. Yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah. Now in third grade, first division, first grade as we know it, Gungahlin will play Goulburn next week at 11:25.
Big win against Adford today.
Yeah,
Goulburn, and that's a really good. If you're looking for some entertaining rugby, that's going to be a really good game because they were the 2 best sides in that comp all year.
The women's Premier Division will be fought out by Uni-Norths and Royals. Royals had a 25-10 win over East today. Again,
that competition's been so up and down.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting to see East miss out.
And the tweaks to the competition, the start of the year, the Premier Division in the women's sort of split off. There was a 5-team 15s competition, then a 5-team 10-a-side competition.
A really smart.
And it looks like it's worked really well, doesn't it?
Couldn't agree more. I think last year it just wasn't competitive enough, and they've shrunk it. They've allowed for development in the women's 10s, but they've really upped the quality of that women's comp, and it's been a great competition all year.
Talk us through the Colts and second grade results today.
Yeah, look, Queanbeyan, they've brought in some really quality players for this final series in the Colts. Shot out to a 40-0 lead, and then Gungahlin, particularly Ali Nahi, just lifted in the second half, ran out of time. The Eagles, and they'll feel disappointed in the fact that they shifted 40 points.
Yeah,
probably gave that up too early and showed their quality in the second half. Just as I said, run out of time, and then in second grade, thought Queanbeyan really put up a good fight against what is as strong a second grade side as you'll ever see. Gungahlin Eagles with
we were
really
talking,
a first grade side.
We were talking before the game, the first grade game started here, and I'm absolutely certain I've got Gungahlin Eagles team sheets from last year that would basically replicate their second grade side that ran out today.
Yeah, bar one or two. Look, down the line, 100%.
So Tuggeranong will play Gungahlin in second grade next week. That's at 1:25. Colts at 11:35. And, of course, the first grade grand final. Canberra Royals await the winner of this game, the Hahn Superdrive preliminary final. Tuggeranong with the advantage at the moment. That grand final, 3:25 next Saturday here at Viking Park. I should mention Wednesday night, of course, mate, is the 2019 McDougall Medal presentation night at the Canberra Rex Hotel. I believe there are still some tickets and tables available. Get in touch with the Brumbies. Get in touch with Caitlin Aquilina there at the Brumbies, and you can certainly be a part of that on Wednesday night, 6:30 for 7 o'clock at the Canberra Rex Hotel. Very much looking forward to that. It was a three-way tie last year? No, maybe only two. Yeah, sorry. Jake Helgeson and Jacob Abel.
It's been a two-way tie the last couple of years, I think.
Has indeed.
With I think it was Bruce Kino shared it with Tom Cusack 2 years ago, and then Jake Helgeson and Jacob Abel.
That's it.
I think Ryan Jones is the last
standalone winner.
And I'll tell you what, there's a couple of names that have been consistent all season, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another shared McDougall medal.
Really interesting to see how that plays out on Wednesday night. Can't wait to be part of that.
Saw Hamish Dawson doing a pretty furious warm-up at half-time, and he seems to be out there.
He's on in 10. So there's a change for Uni-Norths. Hamish Dawson in 10 will come into fly half, you would think, and it appears to be for Fabian Tungall. So they've made that substitution. Has Sam rolled for Uni-Norths.
Be interesting to know what the thinking was there, because I thought when they kept the ball tight, Tango was really good.
Matt Hogan's just an air swing with his whistle to get us underway in the second half here. Sankey's knocked that ball on, and they've cleaned up there through James Lynch. So Uni-Norths, first knock on of the day. Matt Hogan just trying to get some life back into the whistle. Had an absolute air swing.
Got some technical referee issues now. You can just see Rye's smile on his face, having a chat to the front rows just to take attention away from his whistle.
Oh yeah, I saw Matt Hogan downstairs about an hour before kickoff, and I said, "Are you ready for this?" And he went, "I've played in snow conditions. I don't need to referee in it."
I've played in snow conditions as well. It's a weird.
You have, mate.
It's I think everyone in the field at one point goes around, we're doing this? We're doing this. Yeah. Okay, all right. Cool.
Yeah, we're just going to scrum for ages. Keep warm.
Gentleman's agreement.
All right.
Definitely, it's going to be tough for Hamish Dawson to adjust to the speed of this game and the physicality.
Yeah, it took some time last week, certainly. It's a good scrum from Tuggeranong. Jamie Field controlling it nicely at the back, goes forward. Ryan Lonergan pulls it out. Dawson has to make this tackle on Andrew Robinson, who makes 10 metres. Past contact in the end. Tuggeranong looking to get their runners. Good carry there from Takata. Got an offload away there in the end to Guzikowski, was it? Thompson back for the kick. Eyeing some space over on the far side. Richardson's back there to clean up though for Uni-Norths. Comes back infield. Initially I thought he was stepping up for a kick. Runs into the tackle of Guzikowski though. 20 in from touch, far side. Crichton goes to that short side through Friend. And Lachlan Osborne, who's been really good since he got on for Uni-Norths. Love on the far side. He's starting to run in his channels again, Ben Love.
First time we've said his name all day, Brett.
Yeah, but you just get the feeling that if Uni-Norths are going to get back in, that's a great offload there from Osborne to Friend with Sankey behind him. Uni-Norths just starting to find some space. Love with a good carry. Attempted rip out there from Jamie Field for the Vikings. Osborne with another good carry. Just short of the 10-metre line in the end. Dawson finds far. Good ball to Simone, who gets through the tackle of Robinson. Can't get his offload away to his centre partner. Crichton goes short to Dawson. Good run to the line from the replacement fly half. Crichton looking for runners. Simone goes wide through Sankey. He's got Josh Friend with him. He gets through a tackle and he loses the ball. That's not quite what they needed, but it's promising.
No, and I'm very impressed with how they've responded again in the second half. I like the way they're going about exiting from their territory. Again, we're seeing the switch in styles now, with Vikings clearly looking to play a little bit more territory now with the wind at their backs, and the Owls, holding on to that ball but keeping it tight. When they keep it tight, they're very hard to contain with those big bodies.
We're starting to see more of their loose forwards.
Yeah,
mentioned
Ben Love
starting to carry in his channel. Osborne's got a great offload game. We've seen that already.
What I like about Dawson being on the park as well, it gives Eero Simone chances to pick his moments and be into space.
Just gives him a little bit more space as well. Yeah. So Ryan Lonigan will feed at 25 in from touch on the eastern side of Viking Park. Tuggeranong 24 leading Uni-Norths 14 in the Hahn Superdry preliminary final. It's a good scrum from Tuggeranong. Field is controlling it well. And they've got penalty advantage here now, Tuggeranong. Ryan Lonigan pulls it out, goes short side through Revalval. Gets past the tackle of Hollingworth Desson, offloads. Lonigan picks it up. Darcy Swain, that ball's gone forward off Tom Wattigo.
Gee, he was shifting the big fella.
He eyed off that space, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But definitely, you can see again, as they did in the second half last week, really good adjustments from that front row from Vikings. Particularly through Wagner, just putting that pressure through the side of Isalelefa, letting it build, and then the penalty came, which they have not converted.
Ball has not found touch from Lalesio. Richardson comes to the open side. Simone through Dawson now. Simone comes up to Wagner, takes him down nicely.
Yeah, great
tackle from the big prop. Crichton comes short side to Max Bode. Eyes off the inside shoulder of Andrew Robinson. Crichton again finds Dawson. Dave Bennett in midfield. Stopped in his tracks, though, by Lachlan Lonigan. Osborne again. Again, getting through the first tackle lock on Osborne and an offload to Josh Friend. Starting to step it up here, the Owls. Simone finds weight on the far side. Had carrying support on his outside. Crichton comes back to the open side through Osborne. Big start for the young back rower in this second half. Dawson comes to the line, and he's through. Dawson looking for support, throws a wide ball to Josh Reese. And ball is managed to do well. No, he's out, Josh Reese. Thought that pass from Hamish Dawson was so good. Josh Reese, if he had that moment again.
Mate, he was half a foot from one of the pills of the year. Hamish Dawson just took half look up and slang it down to the left-hand channel. What a break from the 10. So lively since coming onto the pitch.
Dave Bennett, the Uni-Norths captain, just getting a little bit of attention to his left knee.
Yeah, they don't want to lose him.
Which knee did Dave do last year?
Jeez, you haven't put me under pressure there. I think it might have been his right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think because I remember him. I just visible memories of him walking in
around the
to
brace,
Viking Park. Yeah.
He doesn't seem. He must have just got a knock. They were looking just in around above the kneecap, from what we could tell. I wouldn't say he's moving freely, but he's not. He's not moving around like a man who's worried about his ACL. Yeah. So Lachlan Lonigan to throw in to Darcy Swain. Can't get the ball down immediately to Ryan Lonigan. Does throw in the end. Wattigo bumps off the tackle of Lachlan Osborne. Make sure he gets up again. Thompson with a kick downfield. Callum Richardson is there to take this comfortably. He's got Josh Reese on his outside. Dennis Wade on the far side. Reese runs into the tackle of Wattigo. Brought down just short of halfway. Crichton goes short side through Simone. His kick is off Tuggeranong player. Revalvo has this for the Vikings, and that's another attacking opportunity just breaking down for the Owls. Ryan Lonigan's kick over the top there. He's cleaned up beautifully by Lachlan Crichton. Gets a kick over the top. It gets over the head of Isaac Thompson. He has to run back, the veteran fly half, and he gets a kick in downfield. It's not going to find touch. Callum Richardson's there. There's forwards in midfield working out just where they need to be, and Richardson eyes off a bit of space here. Josh Reese is tackled nicely by Turi Hides inside the Uni-Norths half. And they reset here, the Owls. Crichton finds Bennett. He goes short to Isalili Far.
Bennett's not right, but he's still out there.
Yep. Osborne is at the back to Dawson. Goes across the face of Simone to Dennis Waite. That's a good ball to Hollingworth Descent, but it's gone forward, and we can hear the reaction of the Uni-Norths coaches to our left.
Not happy, but I thought that one did just drift forward. Yeah. Geez, Hamish Dawson has added such a different level to their attack.
Yeah. There's all of a sudden there's questions of this Tuggeranong defence being asked that just weren't being asked in the first half.
And I just wonder again, is having to play against the wind, again suiting the style of ours that got them to this game, having to hold on to the ball, having to play more football.
Yeah. Why do it easy when you can expend more energy running into the wind?
Well, yeah, look, I know what you're saying, but if you haven't got the kicking options out there...
Yeah, well, you've got no option then, have you?
They're making positive yardage out there.
9 minutes of the second half gone. No score in the second half. That is still Tuggeranong 24 leading Uni-Norths 14 in the Hans Superdry preliminary final. Thompson has this. Lalesio comes wide. Simone holding on for dear life. Lalesio bumps off the tackle of him. Bennett does well, holds on by an ankle. Jamie Fields lost this, and Dennis Waite now has it for Uni-Norths. He hasn't got anyone really with him though for an offload. Dean Wilson had his hands on the ball. Crichton has to dig in there for this ball. Osborne tackled well there by Cooper Takata. Two Tuggeranong locks getting through plenty of work. Dawson comes back to the short side, steps again. Dawson, and again Turi Hyde stops him.
Turi Hyde has had a cracking game off the bench.
Really good defensive game, certainly. Sankey doesn't give to Josh Friend on his outside. Probably wasn't a bad call with Gerzikowski there hovering for Tuggeranong. Crichton finds Max Bode, and he goes into contact with his prop partner, but Fafita pulls it out, and that's a penalty in front of the post from 45 out. The question is, have they got that sort of range?
Simone's definitely got the range, but I wonder, are they probably smarter going to the corner? As you see here, might have heard the call come in. Yeah, you're talking about a low percentage kick there from 40, but the chance to plug corner and get some territory, which, despite their good play, they've struggled for in this second half.
Simone's
has got the range.
Touch.
I saw here Simone kick a drop from about 55 on the angle at a Brumbies captain's runs before, and he's got a massive boot on him when he connects right.
We'll bank that for future reference. Half an hour to go in the Hans Superdry preliminary final. Sankey did well to contest that. Max Bode has it off the back. They have this through Uni-Norths. On attack here still. Isalili Far in the tram tracks on the far side.
Got to be patient now.
What sort of attack can they build here? The Owls. Bode has this. Finds Ben Love. It's brought down 7 short, about 14 in from touch. Dawson comes open side. Simone goes into contact. Bumps off the first tackle of Thompson. He's brought down about 8 short. Sankey. He and Josh Friend have been really big, and Dave Bennett is out on his feet, back behind play. All of a sudden, the Uni-Norths captain. Isalili Far in a similar spot to where he was brought down only a few moments ago. Dawson comes open side through Friend this time. He's picked up and shoved backwards there by a couple of Tuggeranong defenders. Have they turned this over here, Tuggeranong? They haven't, but they've won the penalty instead.
Cooper Takata, what a tackle from the young lock. He's done it a couple of times, but when they really needed something there, Vikings stepped up, put a massive shot on. You see Josh Friend come up a bit limp there. They won't want to lose him. Him and Will Sankey, as you said before, Brett, have been absolutely brilliant for the Owls. Just saw them run out of just a bit of steam there.
Lalessio's touch finder is up on the hill, so he's learned his lessons.
I think he would have. I think he sliced that one before as well.
He's pulled the protractor out.
That seems to be Jay Atkins down below.
Getting ready to come on for Uni-Norths, yeah. And that could be for Dave Bennett, you'd suspect.
Well, I think maybe originally it would have been, but with now Josh Friend struggling as well, will they ask Bennett to carry on, given that I think Lachlan Osborne will be an option there. He'll be an option to move into the second row,
well,
if needed.
And they've already lost Phil Ferreira, of course, who played Locker earlier in the year. So, yeah, it's adjustment time again for Uni-Norths.
He's a good player, Jay Atkins, though. They, again, quality replacement to bring on. Absolutely. Just upsets their flow.
We'll take this little break in play to, again, thank our 2019 competition partners, Griffin Legal, the John Dent Cup naming rights sponsor. Been great for ACT Rugby for many years now. Hans Superdry, the Match of the Round sponsors each week, all throughout the year. And we thank Rock Projects, True Fit and Hill, PTP, McDonald's ACT, O'Neill's and Poplars. You're watching the Hans Superdry Griffin Legal John Dent Cup preliminary final on Brumbies Rugby's live streaming partner Bar TV Sports. Brett McKay and Ryan Murphy with you, and there's replacements everywhere for Uni-Norths. Josh Friend is coming off. His left arm has been slung there inside his jersey, Ryan.
He's in so much pain.
Doesn't look in a good way, does he? So Jay Atkins in 20 has gone on. There'll have to be a bit of a readjustment in the pack there.
Osborne's lining out as a back row, but I imagine at least at scrum time he'll slip into the row.
You'd think, yeah. Lachlan Lonigan throwing in to a 5-man line out for Tuggeranong. 7 metres into his own half. Swain takes it at the front. Thompson has this now off the back. What a go in midfield, just eyeing off defenders and pummeling them. Good carry there from Cooper to Cater. Thompson has this now, eyed off inside ball, runs at Crichton, can't be brought down, is brought down eventually. Inside the 10-metre line for Uni-Norths. Alessio in space here now. Noel Alessio brought down, 25 out. Quick ball now for Ryan Lonigan for feeder, finds Swain, finds Tom Wadigo, steps off his right. Max Ravalva for the corner, can't get away from the tackle of Callum Richardson.
He's done well there, Callum Richardson. Ales players swarming to the fullback. He's certainly been one of their best today.
Yeah, he said during the week that he's been wanting to. He enjoys playing fullback, has wanted to play it more than he has this year. Was absolutely putting his hand up to wear the 15 jersey today, and he's made a good fist of it.
We've seen the call has come in that it's going to be a Vikings put into this line out. Max Ravalva's offload going off Callum Richardson.
So it's come off a Uni-Norths defender in the end. Righto. So Tuggeranong still on attack at this point then.
Just think Darcy Swain's influence is growing in this game, Brett. Yeah. Particularly at line-out time, you see him walking.
Takes him there in the middle. They go straight down to their line-out drive. Lachlan Lonigan has it at the back. It's edging forward, just comes sideways. Lachlan Lonigan's going to have to peel off. He's got Fafita in front of him. Lachlan Lonigan is there with penalty advantage. Lonigan scores for Tuggeranong.
Brilliant from Vikings. As soon as Swain took that ball, you just knew the set was going to be right. The Brumbies lock, brilliant at set piece. And once the set was good, as it has been at times today, Al's just unable to bring that one down on that occasion. Lachlan Lonigan, he's shown at times, particularly in Junior Wallaby Gold, that he's got an eye for the try line, particularly at the back of those mauls. And could that just be the score that sends Vikings, put 1 foot into a grand final?
Could well be. 26 minutes to play. Just makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Listen to that from the Ales, from the hill with the Ales, getting behind their club. They've been a feature of this final series.
So this is an important conversion now for Ryan Lonigan. Gap at the moment is 15, so it's already 2 converted tries. He's brought it back a good distance. He's brought it back 25 out. He's going to kick from what do we call it there? About 13 from touch there on the far side. So he's going to be kicking at the best part of probably 35 metres on the angle. I'm not suggesting range is an issue here for the record, but important conversion nonetheless. Uni-Norths ready to charge. Ryan Lonigan looks up at the post, approaches, hits this well, keeps it low, keeps it straight, flags are up. Great conversion kick from Ryan Lonigan. Tuggeranong 31 leading Uni-Norths 14 in the Hahn Superdry preliminary final. And this has got a bit of a feeling about Owls must score next about it.
Oh, no question. If Vikings can even add 3, this game will be done and dusted.
Back underway.
What a take.
Swain takes it beautifully at the top, as he's done really well in this game already. The big Tuggeranong lock. This game has really gone on to new levels this year with a bit of Super Rugby experience. Ryan Lonigan really starting to control proceedings now for Tuggeranong. Reese takes this beautifully for Uni-Norths, and there is a penalty there in the end. Dave Bennett just asking the question of Matt Hogan. We've got time off. Josh Reese landed very heavily. You can hear the Uni-North supporters there at the southern end. Matt Hogan's going to have a conversation here with Brodie Ingram. He's assistant referee on the far side.
Well, I just wonder after last week.
So it becomes a question of whether it was a fair contest or not.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Yeah. After last week with Matt Hawke and Jordan Thompson, would this have been a directive this week? And just in the back of their minds that they've got to make the right call here. For me, it's a penalty only. I thought it was a fair contest, but...
Yeah, and that seems to be the indication that Matt Hogan's giving Dave Bennett there. It's a penalty, but no more than that at this stage. So...
Well, look, that's... penalty
Simone's
the right call.
Conversion, touch finder, I should say, will find the line on the Tuggeranong 22.
Especially since Reese seemed to slightly jump at the ball too.
Lynch will throw into a 6-man line out. Bennett's there in the offset again for Uni-Norths. Love takes it at the front. He's been taken in the air, no doubt, by Darcy Swain. So this is another opportunity here now for Uni-Norths.
Yeah, a couple of... Just wonder... Hogan have a word here. Just a couple of moments of ill discipline from Vikings. Darcy Swain well up at the front, but dangerous again.
It makes you wonder what will happen at the next penalty, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Especially if there's another penalty inside the 22 here from this little play. Could we see a Vikings player?
100%. I think they'll be on warnings. We see Hogan
on
have
notice.
A word.
Yeah, righto. And that makes sense. Uni-Norths going to a short line out. This is an interesting call. It's a 3-man line out. They go short to Crichton, but the ball's not good for him.
Numbers.
And it's come off a Tuggeranong player is the call there from Matt Hogan.
I think it's been knocked on by Owls. Oh, no.
No, it's come off a Tuggeranong player, he's saying.
Couple of calls there. Now we're saying, yeah, absolutely.
So Uni-North scrum, 5 out from the Tuggeranong line, about 10 in from touch. Grandstand side of Viking Park.
Got away with one there, Owls. Trying and inventing there with Lachlan Crichton coming to the front.
He ran into the line out, but he never looked like he was supposed to be an option to get that ball. It
seemed to be there, definitely a little bit of a miscommunication there. But again, they've shown a couple of times, Uni-Norths, they're not afraid to throw some variety in there, particularly from short distances, but good result for them in the end as well with the scrum. Performing
15.
Well on their own ball.
Yep, scrum feed, 15 in from touch in the end, 5 out.
Ira Simone will have a target on his chest here, but just keep a half eye on Reese and Richardson at the back.
Reese is just on the inside hip of Hamish Dawson there. You can see the numbers 10, 14 and 12 and 13 all there in midfield. Richardson out wider. It's a good scrum here for Tuggeranong. Simone in midfield. Ira Simone for the line. Is he there? He's short. Can't be much in this. Crichton has his hand on the ball. He's taken by Gerzakowski. They pick and drive through. Atkins here now. Looking over the line here. Uni-Norths. Tuggeranong defence up to it so far. Crichton has to dig for it. They go pick and drive. Still short. Simone has this now. Good defence there.
Jamie
in the end.
Field.
Oh, yeah, and Isaac Thompson, they've gone over the top. The Vikings, they've counter-rucked, and they've got this ball back.
Brilliant from Vikings.
Yeah, you mentioned Jamie Field. His work there, really, really good. As Lesio's touch finder from inside the in-goal area is a good one.
Well, we said he had a target on his back when Simone came around the corner there. You just saw Vikings swarm to him.
Yeah.
And the shot from Field just changed the point of momentum, and then the counter-ruck was brilliant.
Missed the clean-out. Uni-Norths, no doubt. But they throw to a six-man line out. James Lynch, 20 out from the Tuggeranong line. Taken well at the back there. Lynch comes around the end side. Reese runs straight into Turi Hides in midfield. Quicker ball for Crichton this time. That's the replacement player, Atkins, in 20. On for Josh Friend earlier this half. Isalili Farr runs into Darcy Swain. Thought there might have been a hit of a high tackle there. Matt Hogan says it's all right. Crichton having to dig hard for this ball. Goes to Dawson. Oh, it's a heavy tackle in midfield.
Cooper Takata again.
Straight all over Jay Atkins.
He is made of steel. What a shot
It's
again
a
from the lock.
hit.
Geez, he's done that 3 or 4 times in the last couple of weeks.
I want to throw something up at you. I wonder if the timing was such that Takeda had him just a touch early. I just wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe definitely seemed to catch him slightly off guard anyway.
Yeah. Atkins was still busy trying to catch the ball, is my point. He wasn't at all braced for the contact. So,
was it early or did he bobble?
Yeah, well, that's a good point too.
Didn't look
Might be right. Yeah,
didn't look.
Might have just had the timing perfect.
Yeah, maybe.
Cooper Takeda.
No, I agree with you because
And all credit to him.
we've seen what he did to Jack Farrell a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He can certainly throw his body around, and it's been a couple of those little injections from Vikings that have just stemmed the flow of ours. To see Isabella Farr, his day's done after a really, really good performance.
Yeah, it's been a big shift from the loose head prop. Riley Pickering in number 17 is coming on for him. He's been big in the ball carrying department. He's been good up front. It's Lily Farr, but his day is done.
I think you'll find it. I think, Brett, as well, there's probably a lot of guys out there, probably including Isabella Farr, that are carrying injuries this late in the year.
Oh, no
so
doubt.
to get through 60 minutes of action as a loose head prop and still going, very impressive. But Riley Pickering, he'll give them plenty around the park. Bread and butter's got to be good, though, against Wagner.
So Lalesio and Thompson are set up either side of this Tuggeranong scrum. Ryan Lonigan's going to feed with just over 19 to play in the Hahn Superdry preliminary final.
I wonder, will this ball even get out of this scrum?
Yeah, well, they're up by 17 now, so...
Yeah, the way they've been scrummaging in the second half, particularly on their own ball, just able to control tempo, control pace, and most critically, control when the ball comes out of the scrum. So
leading by 17, Tuggeranong. I know I said it before, but Uni-Norths just have to be now the next to score. Well, had they when they were close before, had they scored, it was game on. Yeah, because 31-14, you get 10 points behind with 15 to go, very doable. But as you say, Brett, as time dwindles and the next score just becomes do or die now. Yep, clock is definitely on Tuggeranong's side right now. 18 and a half to play. Their scrum's going forward. It's a good scrum from the Vikings. Jamie Field controlling it beautifully at the back. It's rolled back through. The Uni-Norths are going to win this. And what's the call there from Matt Hogan? Just releasing the bind, spinning around on that right-hand side. Look, Jamie Field in controlling it beautifully just gave a little nudge forward, and it had the effect of rolling all the way through to the other side of the scrum. No, Angus Wagner. Lesio's touch finder isn't going to get there. Richardson comes wide to Dawson. There's a little bit of an opportunity here for them. Here's Iro Simone. What can he do? Throws a good ball to Dennis Waite. He's got Josh Reese on his outside. Doesn't go there. He's brought down just short of halfway. 10 in from touch. Simone at first receiver now. Injecting himself into the game more. Is the Uni-Norths centre. Richardson now on the open side. Throws an inside ball to Dawson. He's looking to get a great ball. Reese on the bounce. It's a good pickup. Wade needed to go with him. Reese is still there. Picks up and drives and goes again. Bennett gets the ball there. Goes behind Pickering. Simone has to start again. Ben Love goes wide. Max Bode in the tram tracks. Osborne has got players on his outside. He's still going, Lachlan Osborne. Important tackle there from Luke Gerzikowski. Crichton comes open side to Dawson. In through a little bit of a space again. Dawson certainly having an impact on this game is Hamish Dawson. Richardson doesn't go there. Simone has it. It's a little kick through. Dennis Waite wasn't chasing that. And now Tuggeranong will attack through Lachlan Lonigan, but we're going to come back for a penalty.
I just wondered, did he...
North's defence coaches want to go quickly.
I wonder, did he... He must have been aware that the penalty was coming.
Must have. Simone is going to kick for the corner. And he finds touch. 7 out. Big opportunity through set piece now.
Lachlan Osborne has been incredible off the bench.
Hasn't he been great?
Playing at his absolute peak.
5-man line out. Sankey takes this at the top. Can't get into the line out drive. It's messy. Ball's there though for Crichton. Peels it out. Finds Dawson. He goes to Simone. Waits in a bit of space. Dennis Waite for the line. He's brought down 6 short. Crichton comes inboard to Bennett, who's tackled beautifully by Vunipola Fafita. Crichton to Dawson. He goes to Richardson. Good quick ball to Sankey. Bodes in a bit of space. Ben Love for the corner. Scores for Uni-Norths.
What a try from the Owls. Backs and forwards combining. Lachlan Osborne involved again. Max Bode with the skyhook assist.
Really good pass from Max Bode.
It was incredible.
Really good.
And Benny Love in the channels. Finished brilliantly in the end. What a try. Callum Richardson. Up again from fullback. He's been everywhere, Callum Richardson. So impressed with him today. Again, the heart shown from Els, not giving up. Still time left in this game. Conversion becomes very important.
Yes, it really does. Needs this to pull the margin back to 10 points. Uni-Norths inside the last 15 minutes.
Whatever happens in this game, Brett, it's just another incredible performance from the Els.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's been every bit the contest we hoped it would be.
Absolutely.
Uri Simone's conversion is going to be 2 metres in from touch, about 25 back, grandstand side of Viking Park. Simone hits it to the right of the uprights though, doesn't come around. He's less than impressed, I think we can say.
Yeah, absolutely. Still time. Job very clear now. 2 scores, 2 tries needed. But if you can get one in the next 10, that last 5 becomes very interesting.
Yeah.
So much time left on the clock.
Doesn't it though? Tuggeranong, by contrast, they're in no hurry here at all.
No, playing the smart football. Isaac Thompson, experienced head. Couple of bounces of the ball.
Yep. Gets us underway. Ball will come down near the 22. Crichton has to clean up. Goes over the top of Osborne in the end as the restart kick. It's getting scrappy there. Ball is loose at the back. Good carry there from Jay Atkins. Crichton has it now to Lynch. Runs away from Gerzikowski, but he's barreled over the top by Richard Joyce. I think he's on there for Tuggeranong. Simone on attack with penalty advantage. Richardson does get through the tackle in the end of Jamie Field. He's brought down about 5 short of halfway. Crichton finds Simone to Ben Love in the centre of the field. Crichton looking for runners again, finds Lynch. Hit heavily there by Lalesio. Dawson now, Simone. Bennett comes back on the inside cut. Brought down 15 in from touch, just short of the 10-metre line.
Down a defender, Angus Wagner. I think a popped finger.
Riley Pickering with a good carry, running into Lachlan Lonigan. Wagner is short on this outside. Richardson comes to the line. Dennis Waite slips over in front of Noah Lalesio. In danger of being counter-rucked. Uni-Norths have this. Osborne runs a great angle, but Grzikowski brings him down. Dawson finds Lynch, gets under the tackle of Lachlan Lonigan, finds another metre or two, does James Lynch. Simone finds Bennett. It's good ball to Byron Hollingworth, Descent, and Flaggy's up on the outside. I thought he'd done really well, the winger,
he was close.
Just to offload that ball on the ground.
Max Ravevo did very well because he would have been unsighted the way that Hollingworth Descent burst onto that ball. So to be alive and just do enough to guide him into the touchline, as we see, so not Angus, one for the squeamish down here.
Angus Wagner is just getting some attention right down in front of us. We're just trying to see whether or not there's going to be a replacement. We've got time off.
Tom Carney stripped off, ready to come on if needed.
Yeah, we've got time off.
With the way the game is spread as well, no chance to take any players off and think about next week too.
No, and that's an important point. Tuggeranong, of course, have a second grade side in the grand final next week as well. So a lot of these guys coming on now will be looking at playing at the very least 80 minutes next week as well. So, but Angus Wagner's certainly in a bad way just down in front of us here.
Seems
at
to be
Viking Park.
It seems to be some kind of dislocation, but perhaps very deep.
You see him working on his middle finger, and I can tell you from experience that that is the worst one to dislocate. It is not pleasant. So Matt Hogan.
Oh, there you go.
yeah, Angus Wagner really reeled out of that. So Matt Hogan says, well, let's get on with the game, guys. Let's get a replacement. So Tom Carney in 18 is going to run into the action.
That's a big leveller at scrum time. Taking Wagner out of that Viking scrum and bringing Carney in, a quality, able replacement, but not
prop, but he's not
a professional level tight head out there. So
that's it.
It's just one less worry for Owls chasing this game with 10 to play.
Yep, certainly true. Just under 12 to play. In fact, 11:45 on the clock right now.
How the likes of Swain and Thompson react in these next 5 minutes about getting Vikings into position could be the telling.
Thompson's kicking game this last 10 is going to be crucial. Swain wins this one off the line out. Thompson goes short to Andrew Robinson in midfield. Haven't seen a lot of the former Vikings captain, and that ball is lost. It's a penalty to Uni-Norths. Dave Bennett.
I can't believe he's still out there.
No,
never mind what he's been doing in the last 10 minutes. Absolutely incredible from Dave Bennett.
Said all this second half, he's certainly not moving freely, but he's just getting the job done, Dave Bennett. Simone's touch finder is a good one over there. Line out throw inside the 22, just.
One of the most universally respected players in the competition, Dave Bennett.
Just a good guy too. If anyone deserves a shot at a grand final,
100%.
It's Dave Bennett. If there's any room for sentiment in the game of rugby. Love under plenty of pressure at the front of the line out. Tuggeranong have got this. Grzikowski has done a brilliant job
turnover
here, and we will have the Tuggeranong turnover. Just great work from the young flanker.
Brilliant from Grzikowski. He timed it so well. And then showing experience beyond his years as well. Just got his body in the right area. Little bit of dark arts, gets the turnover. Now we see what happens at scrum time here might just tell you whether Vikings can just get an easy exit here now as that clock ticks to 0.
It's a replacement props on both sides. Riley Pickering there in 17 for Uni-Norths, be facing off against Tom Carney in 18 for Tuggeranong.
Vikings will just look to load absolutely everything down that tight head side now. Get a good bump on, let Vunipola Fafita then use his power on the far side, drive through and get that exit, possibly even eke out a penalty.
Yeah, they're caught in two minds here. This is you would think this would be a classic time where if any time you'd want to play Channel 1 ball, it's now.
Absolutely.
But they actually need to keep the ball in the scrum a little bit just to try and buy time.
You see Owls getting the pressure on. There it is.
And they do win the penalty.
Well, I just thought when Wagner left the pitch that could be big. And it was a great scrum from Pickering.
Dave Bennett rushes forward to get that ball. They just want to play now. Uni-Norths. Simone with another touch finder.
I wonder did they think of picking and going there.
Yeah. So we've got time off here now. Who's getting replaced? Looks like Darcy Swain's getting some attention. Uni-Norths just want to play, of course.
Yeah, we won't doubt him, but, a very good timing from Darcy Swain to receive some treatment there.
Yeah, being involved in a professional environment is not just about set piece and tackling.
Well, look, for mine, mate, he's got to enjoy his next 2 weeks in John O'Dent action, because I don't think his days in this competition are probably numbered.
Yeah, it's probably a fair point. He'll no doubt play a big role in the Canberra Vikings campaign through the NRC, which of course starts
absolutely
on October 31 down here from memory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Against Brisbane City,
I think it is.
Vikings, yeah.
I love that competition.
Oh,
I know it gets a weird rap, but I actually really enjoy it every single year.
It's fantastic rugby, and if you thought grand final day was it, you're certainly not quite right there. Plenty of good rugby to be played in 2019 yet. It's a good defence here from the Vikings. Managed to sack this ball. Have they managed to turn it over even? No, it's there for Crichton now. Pulling the ball out in sunshine. Simone at the line, bursts through, brought down. Good defensive tackle in the end, Richard Joyce. Lachlan Osborne has been really good since he come on in this second half. Young back rower. Atkins running at the line. He's brought down 6 short, 15 in from touch. They keep going there through the short side, through Lynch, Uni-Norths. Osborne for the corner!
Try. Gee, does he deserve that? What a finish from Lachlan Osborne. He's been incredible since he come on the park from Phil Ferreira. One of the highest rated youngsters going around Canberra rugby, playing to his absolute best here. And talk about, inclusions in a final series. Off the plane from Japan this week, straight onto the park for Phil Ferreira, filling in for their inspirational back row. And what a finish.
Remind us what he's been doing in Japan.
He's looking for he's potentially signing over there.
Right.
He's gone over for, to further his career. Not sure the details there, but I know that's why he was unavailable last week. And but talk about a young player dominating like this as a backer, absolutely incredible. Pirouette finish in the left-hand edge.
Caught up in the embarrassment of riches that the back row have with the Brumbies. Simone's conversion is across the face again. Margin remains 7 points here with 7 minutes on the clock. 31-24. Tuggeranong leading Uni-Norths in the Hahn Superdry preliminary final. Royals await the winner next weekend.
You should hear the crowd just building from the Owls end.
The Owls supporters at the southern
Vikings
end starting to make some noise.
Hanging on here.
Yeah, but just.
It's, again, territory now. If Vikings can just hold Uni down at their end, not give away any penalties, that will be crucial now. Discipline from Vikings.
Thompson's going to bring this restart down short. Osborne's done well to pull that ball in. About 30 out, 25 in from touch on the far side. Lynch bumped off the tackle of Lachlan Lonigan initially. Hamish Dawson has had a huge impact on this game since coming on at half-time. Crichton, Sankey finds Bennett. And they're stacking it up again here, Uni-Norths. Bode finds Atkins. Tuggeranong supporters calling for a forward pass on the far side. Swain has hauled this ball up. Have they won the turnover? They have.
Massive from Darcy Swain. Question if that might have been slightly higher, but the strength of the Brumbies lock coming into effect there. And Vikings players right around him.
Yeah, he's been really influential in the last 20 minutes, I'd say, Darcy Swain.
Yes, absolutely. When it counts most.
Yeah. When you want your good players stepping up.
Absolutely. And is that little moment that just takes the flow right out of it? Can Vikings launch an attack now? Will that just give them a little bit of confidence?
So what do they do here, Tuggeranong? Do they go to the phases? Do they go pick and drive for a bit, or do they just try and drill the corner?
To me, they've shut up shop at times in the second half, and credit to Owls for that. And little unfortunate mistakes here and there, but I think they've got to play, Brett. I think you look at Noel Alessio, Tory Hides. Trust yourself.
Thompson, they are playing here. Tuggeranong bumps off the tackle of Dawson. Brought down about 25 out. Ryan Lonigan finds Darcy Swain in midfield. Gets an offload away. Back to Lonigan. Finds his brother Lachlan. He bumps off Dawson. It's a great tackle from Dave Bennett, the Uni-Norths captain. They're trying to counter-ruck. Ball is kicked through, which you can't do anymore, of course.
Oh, just over-eager from Owls. But again, Vikings trusting their attacking shape.
I reckon Ryan Lonigan has a shot, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Now, I said that without actually seeing the kicking TB handed over, but
look, even
it's just the time of the game.
With 7, this probably wins the game if he can convert here, but again,
4 minutes on the clock. 31-24, Tuggeranong leading the Hahn Superdry preliminary final, and Lonigan's penalty could just put them back out by 10.
When all the energy was going the way of Owls, I just loved that Vikings backed themselves and played football and looked for space, didn't shut up shop with Isaac Thompson, Tory Hydes. They're all just playing football. Lachlan Lonigan, absolutely brilliant all day. Trusting themselves when all the pressure, as it has been today, has been on them to produce the goods.
15 in from touch, about 25, nearly 30 back from the Uni-Norths line. Ryan Lonigan, as he put Tuggeranong through to the grand final. It's a great kick. It's a great kick from Ryan Lonigan to put Tuggeranong 10 points up. And you just think, Ryan, that might be it.
It might just be, Brett. 10 points with 3 to play. Ryan Lonigan, as he did in the grand final last year, in the second half, hasn't put a foot wrong.
Yeah.
And especially off the tee.
Really, really good today.
2 crucial kicks from goal.
Simone goes short, and the Uni-Norths just have to get this ball back. Osborne charges through this. Sankey has it, but there's a knock-on against Uni-Norths, and that would have been Osborne who charged through that. Sankey, I beg your pardon, charged through on Swain.
I didn't see a hand in there. I must have come just as Swain was about to take the ball.
Yep. So 2.5 minutes to play in the Hahn Superdry preliminary final. Tuggeranong 34, leading Uni-Norths 24. It's been... Gallant's thrown around way too loosely these days. It's been a brave performance from Uni-Norths.
In a way, they've been the better side.
Yeah,
it's just the Vikings just absolutely clinical in the 22. Uni-Norths didn't take the chances at times.
And in perhaps a perfect illustration of their season as they win a scrum penalty here. So maybe we need to hold fire on this obituary for just a moment.
Let's go, Senate, let's go.
They would have preferred a penalty there, Brett. That's the only thing brilliant. You see Lachlan Crichton. He's not giving up.
Them in, trying to get his forwards in. They need to pack this scrum quickly. They've got 1:40 on the clock right now.
Well, if they've got a play in their books, it needs to come out now.
Yep. Must score. Into the last 90 seconds now.
They've featured some money.
Lights taking effect here at Viking Park. It's been a funny old day. Crichton feeds for Uni-Norths. It's straight out. Pulls it out. Dawson at the line. Goes through. Hamish Dawson is going to score behind the post for Uni-Norths. They need to take this conversion quickly.
And look at the Owls go. David Bennett can barely run and he's sprinting to the halfway line.
Simone must kick this conversion. He does. We're into the last minute.
Hamish
3
Dawson
points is the mark.
Has done that 7 or 8 times since he's been on this park. Takes the ball to the line. Finds a half-metre of space and gasses to the line. A famous Owls try. And what a win this would be. Vikings creeping to the halfway. Taking all the time they can.
Less than 40 seconds. Time off, Matt Hogan says. Uni-Norths now, inside the last minute, have to go the length of the field for what would be an historic appearance in the Hahn Superdry Grand Final next weekend. Thompson gets us underway again. Swain's got his hand on that ball. It's gone backwards. Tuggeranong have it. They just need to hold on now for these last 22 seconds. Ball is there for Ryan Lonigan. Darcy Swain is just going to take the contact now. They try to hold him up, Uni-Norths. Ryan Lonigan has the ball. There's 10 seconds on the clock. Gerzakowski has it. He takes this ball to ground. Lalesio's there in the pocket. There is no time left. The hooter goes below us. Lalesio has it. He kicks the ball over to the club side of Viking Park. And Tuggeranong are through to the Griffin Legal John Dent Cup Grand Final of 2019. Wow, what a preliminary final. What a game. And the Uni-Norths players are out on their feet.
They've given absolutely every inch of themselves, Brett, and more. It's hard to say because I just firstly want to say Tuggeranong, when again they just have not produced their best form in finals, but today they just held on and they did enough when it really mattered, particularly in the first half, taking those tries. When they had the chances, they took them. And just there, you talk about a guy stepping up again, Darcy Swain, big involvements at times when they really needed them. But I mean, it's hard to say more than they've been the better side. When we talk about man of the match, all my brain just goes to Ales players because they've been incredible. And perhaps this is where I was going before, where we sort of quickly pulled up on wrapping up their season prematurely. It's indicative of their 2019 season. Never giving up.
For Uni-Norths Ales. On their day, they can beat anyone, but in the end, they're just not quite there. And that's going to be the harsh reality tomorrow morning for Uni-North supporters.
They were one player away in ways. It was like they relied too much on Simone when it was in that final third, and it seemed to me that, again, they were just one option away.
And you just have to wonder what sort of an impact might Willoughby Axelson or Jordan Thompson have had today if they were able to play.
It's impossible not to think about it. But again, look, Vikings didn't have an Ernest Suavai who, a lot of their attack structures around, but I couldn't agree more, Brett.
And they lost Lenny Katau early too, to be fair.
And he's their biggest weapon in attack.
Absolutely. So Tuggeranong 34 are through to the Griffin Legal John Dent Cup Grand Final next weekend. They've beaten Uni-Norths 31. It's been an absolutely thrilling Hahn Superdry preliminary final. Tuggeranong led 24-14 at half time. They scored 14 minutes after the breakthrough. Lachlan Lonigan, his brother Ryan, converted that. 31-14. They looked home and hosed Tuggeranong, but Uni-Norths scored quick tries. Ben Love in the 65th minute, Lachlan Osborne the 72nd minute. Crucially, neither of those, Ryan, were converted. And those 4 points, they wouldn't give for those 4 points now, Uni-Norths.
Again, not to bring his name up again, but Jordan Thompson, the usual goal kicker
exactly
as well.
Right. Ryan Lonigan kicked an important penalty in the 77th minute to put the margin back out to 10. But then Hamish Dawson, with less than a minute to play, scoots from 40 out to score. Iro Simone converted quickly, and that is the final score, 34 points to 31 in favour of Tuggeranong. Uni-Norths cheering and just applauding the Tuggeranong team as they come from the field. And it sets up what will be a thrilling Griffin Legal John Dent Cup Grand Final next weekend. Royals await the Tuggeranong Vikings, and I would imagine that Royals wouldn't be disappointed at how much these two teams have thrown at each other today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Vikings will be running repairs all week, just trying to get the bodies right. But again, you see, it's almost like they've lost, Brett, as you see them walking off the park.
They don't look like the team that are into a second straight grand final. They won through. They had to battle through. They beat Gungahlin quite clinically in the preliminary final last year.
Oh yeah, no, they hammered them last year.
Really smashed them. But they just don't look like a side that gets a shot at defending their premiership at the moment.
You can see head coach Nick Scrivener getting around his players, and I don't think he would be known for one who would be throwing out praise too easily. But you can just tell. I think he's trying to say, guys, we've just beaten a really good side
exactly
there.
Right. Exactly
and I think
right.
that's again what they've got to feel now is that they're in a one-off game against a side that they know they can beat, and it's just go and win yourself a premiership. It's not been perfect. That doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter now.
You made it to the grand final. Yep. That's how good you are. That's what I would be saying to them in those sheds. We've lost Len. We've lost Ernest. You've not been at your best, and we are in a grand final.
The good people at TrueFit and Hill and PTP Performance Apparel, Ryan, They want to know which way we're going to lean for a man of the match in the Hunt Superdry preliminary final. And I know you were saying before that you just go straight away to Uni-Norths players, and no doubt, Simone's been important. Will Sankey had a huge game. Bennett has been incredible for them. Hamish Dawson had a huge impact on the game when he came on in the second half. But for Tuggeranong, I mean, I can't go past Darcy Swain. He has had such a big game for the Vikings this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm happy to agree with you. Just special comment for pretty much 1 to 8. I thought the Vikings pack got them over the line.
Luke Gurskowski was enormous.
Jamie Field had a couple of massive moments. Tom Wattega with a try and a couple of big involvements. Cooper Takeda, absolutely excellent. Wagner, Lonigan, Vunipola Fafita was everywhere. But as the leader of that pack, as the one who stood up when they really needed it, Darcy Swain, 100% agree with you.
So Darcy Swain is the True Fit and Hill PTP man of the match, and congratulations to him. The Uni-Norths faithful are down in front of their supporters, just wrapping up their season. They've done superbly well, but that is a wrap from us here at Viking Park. Next weekend, the Griffin Legal John Dent Cup Grand Finals in all grades, and we'll be back here for the Hahn Superdry Grand Final between Royals and Tuggeranong from 3:25 next Saturday.
And be careful, there's going to be a total day of rugby.
There is too.
Live stream.
We're streaming all 5 grades, aren't we?
Absolutely.
You've got a big day ahead of you, haven't you?
I've got a massive day. There's rumours Luke Kimber is going to be on the mic and for pitch 2 as well. So
goodness. Well, I look forward.
Keep an eye out. But the big one, it's what we look.
It's where we thought we'd be. It is where we thought we'd be. Royals taking on Tuggeranong next weekend in the Griffin Legal John Dent Cup Grand Final. And that is a wrap from us here at Viking Park. Thanks for your company on Bar TV Sports. For Ryan Murphy and the team, I'm Brett McKay. Go the Wallabies tonight in Perth. And we'll see you next week on Grand Final Day.